Dive into a fascinating story as King Frederik X of Denmark looks back on his sledding expedition to Greenland, marking the 75th anniversary of the Sirius Patrol. An exclusive report that blends history, adventure, and royal symbols. Subscribe to stay up to date with our captivating investigations and reports on royal families. Imagine an icy expanse as far as the eye can see, a white desert where only gusts of wind and the barking of sled dogs break the silence. It was in this extreme universe, in the heart of Greenland, that King Frederik X of Denmark forged part of his identity as a man and future sovereign. When he spoke on the 75th anniversary of the Sirius Patrol, a legendary Danish military unit tasked with monitoring the Arctic expanses, his words were not only those of a reigning king but also those of an adventurer marked for life by an extraordinary experience. His voice was tinged with nostalgia, pride, and respect for those who, even today, perpetuate a mission of unimaginable harshness. To understand the full force of his words, we must go back in time to the time when the young Prince Frederik, heir to the throne, himself took part in this sleigh expedition, thus joining a military and exploratory tradition that transcends generations and borders. The Sirius Patrol is no ordinary unit. Founded during World War II to monitor the vast uninhabited expanses of Greenland and prevent the Nazi enemy from establishing a foothold there, it quickly became a living legend of courage and resilience. Its members, working in pairs, traveled for months across the Arctic with only their sled dogs for company, braving extreme temperatures, snowstorms, and complete isolation. No engines, no immediate backup, only human strength, animal complicity, and military discipline. For many, it was an impossible mission. For the Danes, it was a symbol of endurance and the silent defense of national sovereignty. It was in this context that a crown prince, destined to become king, chose to confront the inconceivable. Frederik wasn't obliged to do so. No royal protocol compelled him to do so. Yet, driven by a desire to test his limits and prove that he could embody not only a head of state but also a leader of men, he agreed to join the Sirius Patrol. For several months, he shared the soldiers' daily lives, living in conditions where every mistake could cost him a life. This experience, far from palaces and ceremonies, profoundly transformed him. Retracing his memories on the occasion of this 75th anniversary, he confided that nothing could equal this communion with raw nature, this confrontation with oneself, and this silent solidarity among fellow travelers. The image of King Frederik X on his sleigh, whipped by the polar wind, his eyes fixed on the icy horizon, has become a powerful symbol of his reign. It illustrates a Danish monarchy that is not content with traditions but seeks to embody courage, closeness to its people, and respect for a unique military heritage. The fact that the king himself experienced hunger, cold, exhaustion, and endless nights under the northern light gives his words a rare authenticity. This is not a story heard vicariously, but a truth experienced in his own flesh. The 75th anniversary of the Sirius Patrol was thus much more than a simple commemoration. It was a reminder of Greenland's place in the Danish monarchy, an affirmation of the strength of youth and sacrifice, and an opportunity for the king to convey a message to the new generation. In his speech, he praised the courage of the patrollers of yesterday and today, emphasizing that their mission goes beyond mere military surveillance. It embodies, he said, the very essence of human perseverance, a living metaphor for the human capacity to resist and survive in the most hostile conditions. For the Danes, King Frederik X's story resonates as a lesson in modesty and inspiration. In a modern world where everything seems within reach, where technology often erases the harshness of the elements, the Sirius Patrol serves as a reminder that certain missions remain timeless and irreducibly human. The king, in sharing his memories, reiterated that no position, however high, should separate a man from the raw reality of life and its trials. This royal testimony also fits into a broader context. Greenland, an autonomous territory of the Kingdom of Denmark, occupies an increasingly coveted strategic position, particularly in the face of climate and geopolitical challenges. By evoking his sled expedition, Frederik X speaks not only of his personal past, but also of the enduring link between Copenhagen and Nuuk, between the royal palace and the icy expanses. The Sirius Patrol thus becomes a symbolic bridge between tradition and modernity, between military heritage and contemporary challenges. Throughout his story, the king captured the audience's attention not with grand official speeches but with intimate details. He evoked the fatigue of long days, the animal warmth of dogs that become true survival companions, and the importance of silence in the endless wilderness. These simple yet powerful images serve as a reminder that behind the monarch's figure lies a man who has faced extremes. Perhaps this sincerity explains the particular emotion aroused by his words. Through this commemoration, the Danish monarchy also demonstrated that it remains deeply rooted in the powerful symbols that unite the nation. By recalling this expedition, Frederik X reinforced his image as an approachable king, close to reality, and a bearer of a life experience that transcends the gilded palaces. For younger generations, this story is an invitation to push beyond their own limits, to not fear adversity and to understand that greatness lies not only in success but also in the ability to endure. As Denmark ponders its future, its role in Europe and the Arctic, the king's words serve as a timeless reminder. The strength of a nation is not measured solely by its economic or military might, but also by its courage, resilience, and ability to honor those who, in the silence of the ice, guard its integrity. By revisiting his memories, Frederik X offered more than just a tribute. He shared a part of himself, a part of humanity forged in the cold and solitude. A part that resonates today as a guide, an inspiration, and a call to never forget what it means to protect, endure, and serve. And you, if you had the opportunity to experience such an ordeal amidst the ice, would you have the courage to face the unknown as King Frederik X did in his youth?